Now let's talk about network load balancer overview. A network load balancer functions at the fourth layer of the Open System Interconnection model, that is OSI model. The load balancer distributes incoming traffic across multiple targets such as Amazon EC2 instances. It can handle millions of requests per second. After the load balancer receives a connection, it selects a target from the target group for the default rule using flow hash routing algorithm. It attempts to open a TCP connection to the selected target on the port specified in the listener configuration. It forwards the request without modifying the headers. When you enable an availability zone for the load balancer, Elastic Load Balancing creates a load balancer node in the availability zone. Each load balancer node for your network load balancer distributes traffic across registered target in its availability zone only. If you enable multiple availability zone for your load balancer, this increases the fault tolerance of your application. If all of your targets in one availability zone are unhealthy and you have registered targets in other availability zone, your network load balancer automatically routes the traffic to the healthy target in the other availability zone. The load balancer serves as a single entry point for all the clients. This increases the availability of your application. You can add and remove targets from your load balancer as your need change without disrupting the overall flow of requests to your application. Elastic Load Balancing scales your load balancer as traffic to your application changes over time. Elastic Load Balancing can scale to the vast majority of workloads automatically. You can configure health checks which are used to monitor the health of the registered target so that the load balancer can send requests only to the healthy targets. Now let's talk about the components. The load balancer serves as a single point of contact for the clients. You can add one or more listeners to your load balancer. A listener checks for the connection request from clients using protocol and port that you configure and forward requests to the target group. Each target group routes the request to one or more registered targets such as Amazon EC2 instances using TCP protocol and the port number that you specified. You can register a target with multiple target groups. You can configure health checks on a per target group basis. Health checks are performed on all the target registered to the target group that is specified in the listener rule for your load balancer. So this is the basic overview of network load balancer. Now let's talk about benefits of network load balancer. First benefit is ability to handle volatile workloads and scale to millions of requests per second. Second benefit is with support for fixed IP addresses for load balancer, you can assign one elastic IP address per subnet enabled for the load balancer. Third benefit is support IP addresses are preserved and provided to your application. Fourth benefit is support for routing requests to multiple services on a single EC2 instance by registering the instance using multiple ports. Fifth benefit is support for containerized application. Amazon EC2 Container Service can select an unused port when scheduling a task and register the task with a target group using this port. This enables you to make efficient use of your clusters. Sixth benefit is support for monitoring the health of each service independently, as health checks are defined at target group level and many CloudWatch metrics are reported at the target group level. Attaching a target group to an autoscaling group enables you to scale each service dynamically based on the demand. So these all are the benefits of network load balancer. Now let's talk about getting started with network load balancer. So this tutorial provides a hands-on introduction to network load balancer through AWS Management Console, a web-based interface. To create your first network load balancer, you have to complete the following steps. Step 1 is select the load balancer type. Step 2 is configure your load balancer and listener. Step 3 is configure your target group. Step 4 is register the targets with your target group. Step 5 is create and test your load balancer. And 6th is delete your load balancer. So let's see all the steps practically. So go to the AWS Management Console. So here you can see that in the compute section we have EC2 instance service. So click on that service. So here you can see that on the left hand side there are different sections. So here in the load balancing section you can see that load balancer. So click on load balancer. So here you can see that the list of load balancer which are already created in this account. So let's create a load balancer. For creating a load balancer you have to click on create load balancer. Now select the load balancer type. Elastic Load Balancing supports 3 types of load balancer. First is application load balancer, second is network load balancer, and third is classic load balancer. So you can choose the load balancer type that meets your needs. Now I am selecting the network load balancer. So click on create. Now step number 1, configure load balancer. Basic configuration. To configure your load balancer, you have to provide the name, scheme, and specify one or more listener and select a network. So for now I am giving the name as session network load balancer and I am selecting the scheme of internet facing. Now what is listener? A listener is a process that checks for connection request using the protocol and port that you configured. Here the load balancer protocol is TCP and the load balancer port is 80. Now specify the availability zone to enable for your load balancer. The load balancer routes the traffic to the target in this availability zone only. You can specify only one subnet per availability zone. You may also add one elastic IP per availability zone if you wish to have a specific address for your load balancer. So for now I am selecting the VPC, session demo VPC, which is created for this demonstration. Now as you can see here, there are 2 different subnets in 2 different availability zone, US East 1A and US East 1D. So I am selecting both the availability zone subnets, and here you can give the elastic IP for both subnets, and you can attach the tags. So tags basically used to organize and identify them. So I am giving the key as name and value as session network load balancer. Now click on next, configure routing. Now step 2 is configure routing. Your load balancer routes a request to the target in the target group using protocol and port that you specify and performs health checks on the target using these health check settings. Note that each target group can be associated with only one load balancer. So I am giving the name as session target group and the protocol is TCP and the port as 80. And you can give the health check protocol as TCP. Click on next, register target. Step 3 is register targets. Register targets with your target group. If you register a target in an availability zone, the load balancer starts routing requests to targets as soon as registration process completes and target passes the initial health checks. So here you can see that I have one instance which is running in this subnet. So click on add to registered. So here you can see that this register is added to the target group. Click on next, review. Now step number 4 is review. So you can review the load balancer details before continuing. You can check all the details which you had given and click on create. So here you can see that the session network load balancer was successfully created. They are showing the note as it might take few minutes for a load balancer to be fully set up and ready to route traffic, and for the targets to complete the registration process and pass the initial health checks. So you can click on close. So here you can see that session network load balancer which is created successfully. This is the DNS name for the load balancer, and you can see the state as provisioning. You can check the availability zone which we had given at the time of creating network load balancer, and here you can see the type of the network load balancer. Now go to the EC2. Click on running instance. So this instance is registered in our target group for network load balancer. So we can connect to the instance using SSH client. Give the IP address, select the key which you had given at the time of creation of instance and click on open. Select yes. Give the username as EC2 user. So here you can see that I have successfully connected to the EC2 instance using SSH client. Now we can install the Nginx server on the EC2 Linux. So first command is sudo yum update. So basically this command will update the package which are present in the yum repository. So here you can see that all the packages are updated successfully. Now run the second command, sudo yum install nginx. So this command will install the Nginx server on the EC2 Linux. So here you can see that Nginx which is installed successfully. Now the third command is to start the Nginx. So here you can see that the status of Nginx is OK. Now we can check whether the Nginx is installed successfully or not on our EC2 instance. Copy the IPv4 public address and hit on browser. So here you can see that Nginx is installed successfully on Amazon Linux AMI. Now let's go to the Elastic Load Balancer. Refresh it, and here you can see that the status of session network load balancer is active. As we have installed the Nginx in our EC2 instance which is registered in our target group. So we can use the DNS name of Elastic Load Balancer and hit on browser. So here you can see that by hitting the Elastic Load Balancer endpoint, I am able to connect to the EC2 instance which is registered in the target group. So this is the endpoint of ELB, and this is the Nginx server which is installed in the EC2 Amazon Linux. So you can check the details of the Elastic Load Balancer like basic configuration, attributes. So what is deletion protection? Suppose someone tries to delete the Elastic Load Balancer. If it is enabled, he or she will get error that you cannot delete the Elastic Load Balancer because deletion protection is enabled for the Elastic Load Balancer. So you can edit the attribute. You can click on this checkbox and click on save. So whenever someone tries to delete the Elastic Load Balancer, click on yes. He or she will get error like this because the deletion protection is enabled. So before deleting, you have to disable the deletion protection. Now click on Elastic Load Balancer, go to action and delete. Click on yes, delete. So this is the practical demonstration of creating a network load balancer, creating a target group, creating a EC2 instance, register the EC2 instance in target group, and changing the attributes for network load balancer, and testing the network load balancer endpoint URL by hitting to the browser. Now let's talk about description of network load balancer. So let's go to the AWS Management Console. In the compute section you can see that EC2 service. Click on EC2. On the left hand side you can see the different sections for EC2. So in the load balancing section, click on load balancer. For the demonstration purpose of the network load balancer, I already created one network load balancer. So for this network load balancer, we have a DNS name, and you can see the state of the network load balancer is active, and the availability zone for this network load balancer, and you can check the type of the Elastic Load Balancer. So you can check the description of the Elastic Load Balancer. You can check the basic configuration like name, ARN, DNS name, scheme, type, availability zone, VPC, IP address type. You can change the attribute also by going to edit attributes. You can enable the deletion protection, which indicates whether deletion protection is enabled or not. If you click this, it will be enabled. If someone tries to delete the Elastic Load Balancer, he will get an error. I can show you that. Select the load balancer, go to action, click on delete. If you click delete, you will get error like this. The load balancer cannot be deleted because deletion protection is enabled. So you can check the listener which is attached to the load balancer. Like this is TCP which is attached to this load balancer. A listener checks for connection request using its configure protocol and port, and load balancer uses the listener rules to route request to targets. So you can add and remove or update the listener and listener rule. Suppose you want to add more listeners, you can click on add listener. And you can give the protocol, and you can give the port number, and you can give the target group. And you can click on create. So by this way you can update the listener. You can delete the pre-existing listener also by selecting the listener, go to action or edit and delete. So this is the practical demonstration of checking the DNS name, state of a network load balancer, and changing the attribute of network load balancer, and enabling the deletion protection. Now select the load balancer, go to action and click on delete. So before that we have to disable the attribute of deletion protection. Go to edit attributes, uncheck the checkbox, click on save. Select the network load balancer, go to action, click on delete. Yes, delete. Now let's talk about limits for your network load balancer. First is regional limits. So you can create 20 network load balancer per region, and you can create 3000 target groups per region. Second is load balancer limits. So you can create 50 listeners per load balancer, and you can create one subnet per availability zone per load balancer. You can create 200 targets per load balancer per availability zone. And last is you can create one load balancer per target group. So these are the limitations for network load balancer.